Hey,
Hello!
you
You're
alright?
right. Yes, I'm good, thanks, Sam. How are you?
I'm not bad, thanks.
Oh, good.
So I'll just let you know for everyone who's viewing, I normally ask about five, six questions, which I've got written down. And then if anyone viewing wants to ask any questions, I'll open it up to them.
Fab. Fab. I've not got any makeup on today, sorry. I thought I'll go for the au naturel look.
No,
You've got really nice weather down there, haven't you?
I'm up in Leeds.
How are you? I'm in Glasgow, so it's
No,
disgusting from here. Oh, Wendy's here. Hi, Wendy. Is it Wendy? Yes, hello. Sorry. Haven't seen Wendy in so long.
so my first question is, how would you explain Boy in a Dress to someone who hasn't seen the show?
Okay, so Boy in the Dress is it's a show. We start off in an ordinary town, and we meet a young lad who is extraordinary, and that's the whole premise of the show is that it's okay to be different. We are all different, and we don't have to conform to society's rules. But the big message behind it is that this young lad goes to school wearing a dress, and then gets discovered at the school, and then gets sort of bullied for it, and even by his dad can't understand it either, and we conform to so many rules as a society. Like, men can't wear dresses, girls never used to be able to wear trousers. It's mad, and the show is all about accepting and being proud of what makes us different, and we should be allowed to live in the way we want to and be accepted for it. And so there's a lovely acceptance to the show, with some really great humour and some really great tunes and some amazing costumes, and the set is great. So yeah.
I've read the book. I've never seen the show.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very similar to the book. They've really kind of taken the story. There are little changes. The one thing that they have kept is the dog, Oddbod, which is great. He steals the show. But yeah, it's fun, and it's beautiful, and it makes you laugh and it makes you cry all in a second. I feel like we dove in there with a really really great question, and I wasn't quite ready for it then.
My next question is actually, do you prefer being in one place like the West End, or do you enjoy touring the UK?
Oh, good question. I think it depends on the job, really. I think touring keeps the fact that you do the same show over and over again keeps it exciting. It keeps it on the move, but you kind of never feel settled. Somewhere like the West End, you can kind of go back to your own home and have a life, but the show kind of stays well, it's live theatre, so it's never the same show twice. And I think there's pros and cons to both. I am a big fan of change. I like and I just think it depends on how long the contract is. I've done like long contracts in town, I've done short contracts, and I don't really get bored. I like ride the wave of like, oh God, it's a little bit harder tonight, and I think that can happen on any job. But I really love what I do, so I always try and find something new in it anyway. So I'm never a kind of, do you prefer this or this kind of girl. Even like with my food, I don't have favourites. I don't have a favourite food. I don't have a favourite film, because it all depends on the mood I'm in. And I'm a bit like that with my work as well. So whatever I'm doing at the time, I just try and make the most of it, rather than sort of preferring either or, because I think there's pros and cons to both.
So it might be a bit hard to answer my next question, which is
No.
actually, which is your favourite theatre or city to visit or perform in?
Do you know what? Actually, there's so many, and for so many different reasons. But a particularly special experience was going to the Wales Millennium Centre a few times, just because it's so near home for me, and I know so many people, and it's just such a wonderful theatre. And I think one of the most beautiful, like, modern theatres.
Yeah.
That was pretty special for me, actually. I really enjoyed that.
And have you had any embarrassing moments on stage?
Oh my God, so many. So many. I fall all the time. All the time. On Rent, actually, I've just seen that Ice has come in, and I worked with Ice. On Rent, I fell and I slipped and fell, and what did I do? Fractured my eye socket off a piece of set. So I did that. When I did Six, I turned around and headbutted the proscenium arch. When I did Panto, I continuously fell over my costume. Actually, I fell in by the dress. I fell. I was the ref. Actually, my friend was in that night, and I remember saying to him, "Oh my God, did you see me fall?" And he was like, "No, I didn't see it, but because it was in the football match,
Ah,
it looked like it was meant to be." So I looked like I'd choreographed in a dramatic fall. So I made that one work. But yes, I am so clumsy all the time.
I guess it's the same with Panto. If you fall over or do what, everyone just
Oh,
assumes it's scripted.
yeah, I know. Well, actually, the time I did fall over, it was like really, really obvious. I played Aladdin at Cheltenham Panto. I had the best time. It's such a beautiful theatre, such a beautiful town. I had the best time there, and the cast were awesome. We had such a laugh. Everyone like, really cared about the show, and it was really beautiful. And I was on stage, and I had it was like the dramatic Prince entrance, and they kept changing how I was coming on. First of all, I was coming on a camel, which was headed by like one of my friends, Chad. So I was supposed to like sit on his shoulders, but that didn't quite work because the camel couldn't stay on for long enough because they needed to be in the routine. And then they got rid of the camel, and then they were trying to find like lots of different other ways to get me on stage. And I ended up sort of running on stage and doing like a kind of court dance. And I remember being like towards the end of, this was a long time ago, I remember being towards the end of the contract and thinking, oh my God, I've done so well. I've done this court dance. And I mean, this court was huge, big sleeves, big train. I had a mask on, I had heels on, I had a tunic on, so quite a short tunic. And I remember thinking, I literally thought just before it happened, I was like, I've done really well, I've not fallen over. And I spun around and both of my legs got caught on the cape and flew up in the air, and I landed like on my bum, and the whole audience went, ooh, like it was like silent for a second. It was silent for a second, then everyone just like absolutely died with laughter, and then the emperor had to like help me up.
At least
Yeah,
at Panto, you can kind of laugh it off and then carry on.
exactly. I haven't managed to do it where it's been detrimental to the action yet, so we've been all right.
And my next question, have you had any what's your most memorable moment on stage?
Most memorable moment on stage. Oh my God, so many. One of my most memorable moments was probably actually during Rent. I remember going on for Maureen for the very first time, and I did the show with an actor called Billy Cullum, and we trained together at Arts Ed for 3 years, and it's the first time we'd been in a show together, and he was playing Mark at the time, and I'd just gone on for my first time for Maureen, and we got to the very last scene, and we both just looked at each other, and we just like sobbed, because it was like a real like mark of time, because Billy was in all of my classes at Arts Ed. We were always put together, and we did most of our shows together. So it was just a real like lovely moment where we both kind of went, oh my God, we did it. Even if we never did it again, we did it. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that was really, really, really lovely. And just going on for that character in that show was just ace anyway, you know. So I have so many moments actually. Like the more I think about it, the more there are. It's hard to pinpoint, but yeah, that was a particularly special one. Special one.
And the final question I've got before I start opening it up to the viewers is, what's your dream role?
Oh, good question. If you'd have asked me a couple of years ago, I probably would have said like Elphaba or Nancy and Oliver or Lady of the Lake in Spamalot. I'd love to play her. She's great. But actually, my dream role, I would love to originate something that isn't written yet. So something meaty and a big sing with like a nice kind of story to tell and an important story to tell. That's what I would love. I would love to do that. Originate a role.
Yeah, and then I guess you've got nothing to compare it to either if you're the original. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just get to be so creative you know, because there are no ideas. That it's like an artist with an empty, like a clean slate, an empty palette. You just kind of, you can add your own colours and your own style. And I've always wanted to do that. And I think I got a flavour of that with Six. And even with In the Heights and Little Shop of Horrors, because we were kind of coming at them, even though they were pre-existing shows, we came at them with a new idea. They also felt really, really creative. So yeah, so I would love to do that.
If anyone watching now has any questions, now's the time to ask.
Now's the time to ask. Oh God, so I think I was quite ready for this. Have you got any backup questions in case?
I ain't got it written down, but I can just ask.
Oh, here they come. Do you want to read them out?
Yeah. Someone's just said, "What's your favourite genre?"
Okay. That's Wendy. Hi, Wendy. My favourite genre. I love. I'm a sucker for like a pop rock musical. I love singing like contemporary stuff. I think in terms of style, I love like In the Heights. I love a show with like, as long as it's got like some warmth and some heart within it. I kind of enjoy anything. But yeah, I think definitely the pop style is kind of, pop contemporary musical theatre is more my bag. I enjoy it a little bit more. Yeah. What else? What is the hardest role you've had? Oh, good question. They're all quite hard in their own right. Maybe probably Nina in the Heights. Oh no, actually I lie. Urinetown. That was the hardest job I ever had, as opposed to role, because I covered everybody. And I had like no time at all to learn 5 tracks, and no one in that show is ensemble. Everyone is a part. So I got thrown on sometimes, and I'd only rehearsed like 2 lines. So I had to get used to not stressing. So that was probably like one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. What else? Rent 25th anniversary tour, Maureen return. Who knows, Maddie? Who knows? Maybe one day, you never know. Amelia. Hi, Amelia. If you could play one role again, what would it be? Definitely Nina and In the Heights. She's my favourite. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Yeah.
What's your favourite genre? Or what's your favourite show to see when you're not working? Have you got any favourites to watch, or don't you get to watch many shows?
I'm honestly so rubbish at favourites, because I appreciate the good and bad in everything. We watched Lungs the other day on Zoom, and that was awesome. I'm a big fan of anything, really. I hate choosing one, because as soon as I choose one, everything else comes into my mind. Like I'm lying to myself. I watched Lungs at the Old Vic the other day, and that was incredible. We've watched so much. Small Island, we watched. That was amazing. We watched. What was that play at the Globe? We watched Cypress Avenue. That was incredible. I bawled my eyes out and was like, So I watch anything. I watched Hamilton the other day. Absolutely loved that. So I really do. The only thing I've never seen is an opera or a ballet. I've never seen those. So maybe one day I'll get to watch one of those. Do I prefer legit or contemporary? Definitely contemporary. Sorry, legit. That's one thing I know I am sure about. I feel like it's all scrolled up. Oh, Ree said, loved learning the dance in the workshop on Monday. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed. Been filling the time in isolation with teaching lots of workshops, and I've started my own business doing Agony Actor, and then in a couple of months I'm going to do my own little cabaret. So keeping very busy.
Yeah, I guess it's the only thing to do really at the moment.
Yeah, just got to try and tick along, and small wins, isn't it, at the minute? Just got to keep kind of... What are you up to during lockdown? Are you doing anything at the moment?
At the moment, like I said, I've been keeping busy doing these Q&As, and
Great.
in a few months I'm going back to uni because I've just finished my first year at uni doing journalism, media, and film.
Oh, brilliant. That
So
sounds.
it'll be a lot busier when back in September. But at the moment, I don't have, the only thing I've been doing really is these Q&As and stuff.
That's great though. Honestly, these Q&As do keep the fire lit, I think. You know, they just keep us talking about what we love, and hopefully one day it will return. I mean, I was so sad the other day when we found out that the Six driving wasn't happening. I feel like that was our glimmer of
Yeah.
hope. But then so chuffed when Jesus Christ Superstar got announced. So hopefully now it can kind of, it can, you know, start to work again and we can get going. But we'll see.
Yeah, like all this has given me experience as well for like journalism, so thanks for helping me out as
Oh,
well.
that's all right. No bother at all. No bother at all. Oh, someone's giving me a compliment on my hair. Thank you very much, Tara. Have we missed any? I'll scroll up. Watch Magic Flute as your first opera. Done deal. Hi from Bridgend College. Oh, hi. I haven't been home this whole lockdown, so I'm really looking forward to getting back at some point, which would be nice. But yeah. Any other questions? They're not coming thick and fast today. Do you have any other questions, Sam?
I think I'm all right at the moment.
You're all good. You're all good. How long will we leave it?
Yeah, I'll just give everyone one or 2 minutes before we go, if that's it.
Thanks for joining us, guys. It's so nice.
Thanks a lot for doing this as well. It's really helping us both out.
No,
I've only been doing it for about a week because I've been Connor's been doing it. We're just going into a third month of running the page now. But I've been joined about a week or two now, but I'm enjoying doing these Q&As.
Yeah, it's great. I bet you've met so many people already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. What was my favourite memory when you were an OG Queen? Ooh. The end of the opening number. I usually tell the story. So when we first did Six, we had 2 weeks to rehearse it, and that was it. And then we went, and it didn't have a design, it didn't have the costumes, it didn't have a set yet. We were on someone else's set, and it was just 6 women doing the material. And I remember being in rehearsals and being like, my first line of the show was, "Hello, London!" And it's obviously, you expect the like, woo! And I said to the writer, I said to Lucy, I said, "Are you sure like London's gonna scream?" Because I was like, you know, panto, like in Britain everyone screams and shouts, but at musicals everyone tends to be quite reserved unless you're at like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And she was like, "Trust me, it'll work. Trust me, it'll work." And I was like, okay, because I thought I would say that line, and if it's like, it'll be really, really awkward. So we went on after like half a day to tech. We went on and we were like, all for one for all, let's go, let's do it. And we did the opening number and we literally like strutted on stage, and already everyone was just like, wow. And I just remember that feeling at the end of Act One, just being like, not Act One, at the end of the first number, there's only one act, at the end of the first number, the audience just being like, wow. And there's something so joyous about when you create something new and you're so involved in it, you're so like involved in figuring out the characters and figuring out the whole piece and what story you're telling and how you react to the other girls on stage, that you don't get the time to be like, is this any good, or does this really work? And I just remember just being blown away by the reaction to the show, and I thought, wow, this is going to hopefully do really, really well, and it has. So yeah,
I was supposed to be seeing the UK tour in Leeds, and then that got postponed, and then I was supposed to be seeing the drive-through thing as well, which got cancelled. So.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You'll see it one day though.
I will.
100% it will be back.
I think it's been rescheduled for Leeds, so hopefully next year it should be going ahead.
Yes, it will. You know, as long as everyone's healthy, that's all we can hope for at the moment, and then it will come back. And do you know what? You'll have the best time ever, because those girls are fierce. They're so fierce. And I think everyone, I just can't wait for that first, going back into a rehearsal room for like the first
Yeah.
time. I can imagine that the Jesus Christ Superstar lot must be feeling that right now. Must be a bit like, oh my God, like, I mean, I don't know how they're running the rooms even, but it must be, it must be very exciting. I've just scrolled up and I've seen that Lucy Webster's put what your favourite rehearsal memories, and it just made me think about during the Boy in the Dress, we were doing a run through. I can't even remember if maybe it was the run through when Robbie Williams was there. I can't remember, but Rufus Hound did a number with one of our little Dennises and Alfie, who played the older brother. I think it was Alfie at the time. It was on multicast. I'm trying to remember which kids were doing it. And he wheeled on they wheeled on a sofa and they had to do a number, and he jumped around, sat on the sofa, and the whole thing collapsed. That was one of my favourite rehearsal memories. I love a blooper.
At least it happened in the rehearsals and not when it actually.
Exactly, I know. Lots of people, look, we're supposed to be seeing the drive-in. Oh, guys, you'll get there. Let's hope, eh?
Yeah.
Hopefully, spring next year, it'll all kick in. Favourite 6 rehearsal memories. Ooh. You know what? Rehearsals were like a roller coaster in 6. So usually you have like a 4-week rehearsal process. That's pretty standard for a show. I mean, for Boy in the Dress, because it was new, we had about 9 weeks including tech, or 10 weeks including tech. So that was a long one. But on average on a show, you get about 4 weeks rehearsal. And usually week 1, you meet everyone and you're like, hi, you get to know people. And then week 2, you sort of start delving into the material and you start putting it on its feet and you start figuring it out. And then week 3, you're like, okay, we've got it all down. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm good enough to do it. I don't know. This material's never going to go in my head. And then week 4, you're like, oh, it's all starting to get in my body now. It's all good. And every day on 6 was like that. Like every day. Because we had so like little time. We just have to rock up. So every day was like an emotional roller coaster. We'd be like, yes, come on girls, we can do this. And then we'd be like, what are we doing? And oh my God, I can't do this. This is too much. And then we'd be like, we're going to do this. We're going to get through this. And it was literally like every day was like, and then we would die laughing, sometimes rolling on the floor. So it was literally like, it was non-stop 6 rehearsals. So yeah, I think in general, that was my favourite memory about 6.
It's more like a concert, really, though, isn't it, than a musical?
It is. There is a story. It does cross over that. It's like, I like to call it like a gig musical, because it's not just someone singing songs at you. There is a through line. There are themes. There are characters. There's interaction. It's definitely like a musical. There's something to be learned, but I think because of the way it's presented like, like a Beyonce concert or whatever. Then yeah, I like to call it a sort of gig musical. I think other musicals have sort of done something similar, but never quite as fresh as 6. I think they've done such a good job of that. Such clever writing.
Yeah.
Smashing.
Is that everyone's questions then?
So, I think we're all out of questions.
Yeah, thanks a lot for doing this anyway.
No worries,
I really appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye.
Look after yourself.
You too.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in. Bye.